So good to be here again this year and see all these beautiful smiling faces and the beautiful unity consciousness here. You know, you really feel it even when you're driving up. You know, it's really nice light, you know, that's being created here in Fort Worth. I put this on the chair, so if anyone tries to reach me or find me or my future events, they're all on my website. You can also take notes. Anything I say on the back, if you want to write something down, and I'm passing around a little sign-up sheet if you want to be on my announcement list for future meetings.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm steadily proceeding with kind of the theme that's been in the consciousness the last couple of years. You know, I've touched on some environmental things going on. Of course, I always like to do celebrity romances, you know me. But politically, you know, a lot going on here. I know a lot of mixed emotions and, you know, views and things, you know, all over, not only the States, but on the planet, you know. It's just more global. But, you know, this year I see a good economy this year again. And I think it's going to continue. And I was meditating and throwing cards, and I kept seeing money, business, money coming back, you know, building business, you know, engines moving, steel, you know, all this stuff. So I just see more jobs, see people getting busier, opportunities are abundant. I still see companies continuing to return here to the States. And I just see a lot of growth in this country, you know, in consciousness and manifesting materially. You know, people don't think about it, but if you look back 10, 20 years, you know, with all of this, the new age and the consciousness, a lot of people aren't thinking, oh, maybe some of this is manifesting today, that we've been working on and praying for and wanting to bring in, you know, the abundance and the prosperity. Now, having said that, I see positive changes in our national security, too. I was seeing kind of different technologies I couldn't describe, but I knew that there were different things that they may implement to keep the country safe. I think the wall's going to go up. I mean, they've already started, but I feel like it'll go through and get completed. But, you know, I threw cards on that, and I thought I would see some little doom and gloom here with this, but I really didn't. I saw a lot of people being married. I saw students going to school, coming over here, getting visas to go to school, families together, not separated by a wall. So maybe they're going to, you know, with the reform, have all the families either on one side or the other, however they're going to do that. But I also saw immigrants coming from all different places in the world. So this may be okay. This may really work out well. So keep bringing in the higher light. I didn't see a lot of violence either. I thought, oh, we're just going to see all this stuff blowing up and everything. I didn't see that either. I mean, some of these things could change, but I meditated and looked at it several times in the cars, and I got the same thing all the time, just a super positive energy coming through. So continue the prayers, continue the visualization for prosperity, the love, you know, humanity. Keep those energies coming in. I'm seeing the administration reform the immigration, you know, the laws and that, and working with DACA. The election, I think Trump's going to win 2020. I threw cards on that too. But I was wondering who would be running against him. And I threw cards on that several times. I keep getting the same thing. I keep seeing two women side by side, absolutely having a ball running, you know, on the Democratic side. And I think it's going to be Hillary, and I don't know, maybe it's going to be Hillary Cooper, maybe it's going to be, I don't know. But I think I got sort of a sense of surprise, you know, and excitement. But I did see two women there, so it was interesting. I also saw that Trump probably thought about having a female running mate this time, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Pence. You know, I looked at that too. But it looks good. Now, there was a lot of mudslinging this last election. I think that's still going to continue this next election. It might be worse. I mean, I threw some cards on that. It looked like they were really digging for stuff. So there's no telling what they're going to come up with this year. Now the Mueller, I think Mueller's going to wrap it up. I think 4 to 6 months. I think it's going to be done. I really didn't get a lot of energy on that. How much more they can go on that. But I did see in his energy field that there were 1 or 2 people I think he really wanted to hone in on, and he may actually open up some other cases with other people after this one closes. So I kind of saw it like chapters in a book. So I think this one chapter is going to close in 4 to 6 months, then there may be some spin-offs from there. So we'll see. But the light coming in, I think it's going to chill out a while. I think it's going to relax a little bit. This is a kind of the U.S. wallet. You know, what's going on here? This huge $22 trillion deficit and everything. And I keep seeing money coming back to the states. You know, borders, tariffs, military, respecting the country's money flow, balancing the hero role, you know, that America plays. And that's balancing, you know, I'm not saying that it's not there. I'm not saying that it's one or the other, but a balance that I saw there, the energy, and a lot of creative energy for production and creation. So I think it's going to be real interesting, not just this year, but in the next 4 to 6 years to come. The money here, oh, we have money, what are we going to do? You know, it's not all going to foreign countries, you know, it's got to start creating something, and there was really good favor on it. More money, more energy around the coastlines and ports. I saw boats coming in and out. You know, things happening around the West Coast and on the East Coast. I think an economic boost. I think there's going to be a little more bipartisanship this year, but I still think there are going to be a lot of resignations too. And having talked about borders and tariffs and this kind of thing, you know, there's been a theme of that. You know, the election, the candidate that was chosen. We work our metaphysics. You know, we work our energy. Look in your own individual life, and this is kind of what I wrote for individual collective consciousness. Is you know, you can even hear the words, you know, on the media, whether fake or not. You know, I mean, you still hear these things, and it's being attracted and collectively. These are some of the things I wrote down, just listening to the news and reading and just channeling, to when you meditate and observe in yourself, not only collectively, but what is it within us here? Okay, there's a lot of mention of success, winning. You know, what is that to you? Balance. What is that to you in your life, in your relationship with yourself and to your, you know, your family, to your extended family, to your country, globally? What does that look like? What do these look like? Boundaries, walls, respect, self-worth, self-esteem, security. You know, all this talk about security. What is that within? What is that, you know, in your nucleus? What is that, you know, going out? You know, connecting with your soul, with your higher self. Independence, teamwork. Well, we hear that on the TV all the time. Teamwork, polarization. You know, duality. You know, the unity. I mean, you're seeing all that reflected back. So it's very interesting. Freedom, power, strength, service. You might come up with some of your own, you know, words to meditate on, you know, or to bring into consciousness. So I just always bring that up every time I do prediction night, because, you know, walking your talk and working that energy. You know, what's the reflection? Where are we going vertically? You know, not just, you know, pointing fingers, but what's, you know, what's going on here? Keep that coming in. Okay. Foreign politics. Last time I did prediction night, I kind of had a focus on Korea and Japan and all that. And I talked about those missiles going toward Japan. And there they went, you know, and all that going on. And I've always said, never quite liked all that testing, because I just keep seeing California, that west coast going, you know, right there in the water getting hot. And this time this year, keep seeing a volcano like on the northwest corner in Washington State. And I think it's going to be Baker, but it could be Helen or Rainier. But I see something there, and I feel the temperature warming in the core a little hotter than some of it's already been warming already, but when I'm feeling it, it means it's a little bit more than it could make a difference. You know, it raises the question, oops, you know. But here we are pulling out of Afghanistan. So my energy is kind of drawn to this part of the world right now. The military is pulling out. You know, and I saw it really maybe completed or by the summertime. I still see a struggle for Afghanistan to get its security strengthened. I do see a few moments of peace very long awaited for. I think when a lot of the troops are out of there, it's going to be just kind of this quiet lull for a minute. And then I think someone could just strike a match, you know. And I think the Taliban has an agenda, you know, with Pakistan. And I think that Pakistan, I think you'll see over this year, will kind of be in a crunch between Iran, Afghanistan, and India. I kind of see India like their own wall, you know, to that part of the world for them, and keep them there. But I think that, I looked at the map again. I think I mentioned last year that it's kind of like I saw Iran kind of just taking everything over. There's like that possibility there. But this is like Pakistan almost looked like southern Afghanistan. So I don't know how many are refugees or if they're just moving in, But, it's like the border toward Iran, I just kind of saw that disappearing, and I just kind of saw the only border left was that between Pakistan and India. So, that'll be interesting to see what they choose to do and what they can't do. But I did see a bomb exploding there, and I wasn't sure if it was, like I said, somebody struck a match, it was their own arsenal, or if it was actually coming from Afghanistan. Okay. But they don't want the U.S. there. That I did feel that energy. They don't want them in Pakistan. They don't want them anywhere over there. We know that, but it was just real strong. Now, Syria, I see his decision. See Trump's decision to pull out of Syria is successful. I think that will go well. I think Assad's going to restructure a lot of things so that doesn't happen again. And I don't see them making a comeback the same way. I think those groups will try a different attack there, but he might be assassinated, or they may attempt that. There's that civil war going on, and from what I'm seeing here, though I don't think Trump will pull out as quickly. I think it'll be maybe 6 to 8 months versus 4 months. I think it'll drag out a little bit. Their finances and growth, I think, is going to be great. I think they're going to have a good economic year. I don't think they're just going to tank because they're pulling out. I think they'll probably do better. And the Sunni-Shia relations there, I think that's kind of a big factor there. And I think over time, especially without our military being there, getting so much attention, drawing so much attention, this might surface more, and I think people might notice that more. I'm hoping that's not the match that I see them striking, there are more Shia governments ruling the Sunnis that make the majority there. So, but it'll be an interesting thing as that surfaces. The only thing I did say is that I think the ocean could be a little warmer, kind of like Iran around California. I just keep feeling it hot up there, and I'm just hoping. I've seen this, and I've mentioned several times. Was a tsunami that was hitting right at LA. Like I said, I hope it's not the bombings and things that are going on in the Middle East too. What is it shaking up in there? Alaska might be a little bit hotter than usual. I even looked at that, and certain parts were hot. It was confirming the pictures that I was getting, and there might be a little more of that going on. The air quality, the air quality over San Francisco is really bad. But I was getting a general over that whole area on the West Coast. Just air not good, water's too hot, this volcano's going to go. There's just a lot of cautions there. But if you think about it, in that area, there are a lot of people that are really working on their higher consciousness. And you've got a lot of people saturated in that area, and so what happens? It pulls stuff up. So in one way, hey, good for them, that energy's moving. Maybe it can be channeled and balanced out so that the earth can handle that. It's attracting things, and what does that mean? Things getting hot, changing climate, heat, you can kind of start to see some of the reflections there that would be within consciousness. There's a lot of higher consciousness going on in those states there. I see there could be a terrorist attack too. I saw people running like this. I saw this blonde guy with blue eyes in his shorts. It was during the day. It looked like it's almost always summer there anyway in the weather. Running around going, oh my God, oh my God. I said, okay, what does that look like? New York, the terror attack there. So, and like I said, some of the best predictions I think are the one especially when they're like this, if they don't happen, the consciousness shifts, There's that free will coming in there, that intention, okay, got it. It's worked out. It's like a bump, it kind of flows, but whatever's in the greatest good, whatever's in the highest good for growth.
Could you raise your voice a little, sweetheart?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm sorry. Okay. Has everyone heard what I've said pretty much? Oh, that's good, okay. Yeah, so, do you want me to back up a little bit? Okay, all right, because I could go over that again. So, yeah, so the consciousness, look at the earth changes, the reflection of the collective consciousness, the individual consciousness, and how, you know, each little drop, you know, affects and but can make a difference. Prayer for the, you know, the United States and some of these other countries, bringing in higher consciousness. You might even do a mantra individually of, you know, things coming in smoothly and gently, you know, in Mother Earth, breathing in and out Mother Earth, and it can, you know, absorb some of the changes and even the shocks from the bombing. You know, that those things start to dissipate. There's not a need for that anymore. Okay, so here we are with the romances, celebrity. I chose Lady Melania and Donald Trump. You know, I thought they were an interesting couple, and you know, their energies, and I saw, you know, pretty strong for this year. They're going to stay pretty strong together. I think there's a good, consistent love between them both. It's growing. I think their awareness of each other is deepening a lot. I watched some of her interviews, and I was reading her aura, and I could see her outlook on life has really, really grown with all her service in other countries, and I think she's going to be more confident this year and the year after that. There's a sense of destiny there with her role, and I don't think we've seen all of what she's really here on earth to do. And I think it's going to be very interesting how she grows and transforms through this experience with Donald. She may write a book. She might write a book about her life and their relationship. I see more spiritual awareness developing. She will travel more abroad, and I see them pretty much happy. I think they'll be happier, you know. That little boy, Baron, he's a bright little boy. He's a very interesting soul, and to see what he does with his life here on earth, you know, I think that will be very interesting too. Very, very bright. I think she's from what I'm seeing in their cards, you know, through a bunch of love cards, a lot of love cards came out. I think they argue a lot. You know, I've seen a lot of arguing there, but I see deep love too. And she respects him as a man and as president. Now, later down the road, this might be, you know, after his second term, they could, having said that, there is something that I saw could come up in there karmically for them both. And I don't know if it'll be like another Maples or Ivana, but I don't know, they could split up, they could divorce. And that could change, but I did see it a couple of times, a really, really intense crossroads that they'll have to work out. They're a beautiful couple, so hope they do, you know, or whatever God's willing for them to do and be. All right, my other couple that I chose here, how many of you, do y'all remember Ricky Martin and La Bamba and all that?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I was a crazy fan. I love that.
Yes, I know.
La Vida Loca.
Yes. He's a beautiful human being.
He is. Yes, and I just loved it. I saw a video, well, I watched a lot of videos, but this one was about his relationship. And he married a gentleman named Juan Joseph, and a Syrian, Swedish artist. And their energies were just really beautiful, and they were such a good match. I was just like, wow, it just blew me away. And I watched this a few times and said, oh, I need to write my prediction. But great match, and I think they're going to just continue to have a healthy, happy marriage. And I really threw cards on that, and I thought, God, I wish I saw that for most people all the time. And I think they're going to experience a lot of joy within themselves, you know, spiritually. I see them on a spiritual path, and especially their children. You know, I think there's a lot of spirituality there, a lot of growth, and I think they're going to branch into a lot of other things, take their talents into other areas of art. I see them building their psychic energy, and they may build another home. I saw a lot of building, they have a lot of building energy. And I think Juan's artistic energy will, you know, overlap into a lot of Ricky's performances and different things that he's doing. And I think Ricky will become more serious a little bit later on about his own mastery, about his own self-mastery and higher consciousness.
About his own, I'm sorry, what?
I think he will focus more on his higher consciousness. I already see in his cards and in his aura, you know, a commitment to spirituality.
Yes.
And I think his you know, different cycles. It might be, you know, 10 years from now, 5 years, and he really gets serious about it, but we may see more things that reflect his self-mastery. And I think some of his kids will follow in his footsteps and probably go into acting. And I see them in just enjoying spiritual living. They're definitely soulmates. I mean, that was, you know, the cards were amazing. Definitely soulmates. Okay, well, I'm going to close with that. And I already mentioned about the upcoming election. So thank you very much. It's always been a pleasure being here.